Stents, welcome back to this beautiful stadium of ours. Obviously coming off a long, treacherous trip to Wellington. How have you and the squad recovered from that trip?
Yeah, it's a good question. It was a difficult trip, and I've got to take my hat off to the players and the staff from Wellington who do it quite regularly, going the other way. So, and a very tough and physical game, but really good performance from us. We were able to create a lot. Probably a little wasteful in front of goals, but defended our goal well, and it's a long way to go for a game of football, but it's a great place to go if you come back with 3 points.
How have the squad recovered from a long trip? Has the recovery been different when you fly across the ditch?
A little bit, but we were able to get some good training into the players that didn't travel across the Sunday and the Monday, and then had a day to sort of recover and acclimatise on the Tuesday. And we've lost a day this week because played on a Sunday and now we're into a game on a Saturday. So all of those things kind of factor into it. But we feel like we've prepared the squad well. We feel like everyone's fresh and fit and firing and ready to take on a tough challenge on Saturday night.
Last time we spoke, you said you were suffering from a few selection headaches, and Isabel Hodgson was training. If you could give us a squad update and how Izzy's progressing. Yeah,
Izzy's progressing really, really well, and to be honest, very close, super close to being selected for this week. So we feel like she's not far off from being available for selection and then potentially making a matchday squad. And I'm excited to see the impact she can have on our group if given the opportunity.
And the rest of the squad, how are things? Talk to us about your selection headaches. Is everyone available for selection this week?
Well, Fiona will be out. She's picked up a little bit of a soft tissue injury off the back of that Wellington game, and Katie Bowler as well, just dealing with a little bit of a soft tissue injury as well. But we think they're quite minor injuries and they'll be back sooner rather than later. And apart from that, everyone's available. The players that are sitting just outside the squad at the moment are really pushing hard and training well, and the pressure is on to continue to perform because that's what needs to happen in this team if you want to keep your spot and you want to play.
And a word on Chelsea Dorber. How did she pull up after that kick to the face? Any concussion there? Anything to worry about?
No, Chelsea's fine. She's trained really well this week, and she's in great form at the moment. I know she probably would have liked to have finished one of her chances on the weekend, but she's working really hard off the ball defensively for us. Her high-speed meters are up, and she's looking really dangerous for us in attack. And I'm really pleased with Chelsea's form, and I hope people outside of our club are starting to notice just how valuable a player she is for us.
Looking ahead to tomorrow, the club celebrates International Women's Day, and the men are curtain raisers for yourself and the girls. I guess from a spectacle, how much you and the playing group looking forward to being the showcase game tomorrow night at Coopers?
Yeah, I think it's a fantastic initiative. It's not something we've done here before in Adelaide, and I hope our fans embrace it and get around and stay and support the women's team, because as I've said many times before, we're worth watching, and we'll put on a good performance for them. And it's really exciting to be able to play a night game here at Coopers as well. It's a fantastic venue. The surface is in great condition, and we're hoping that a really big crowd stays and supports us along, because we're going to need their support against Central Coast.
On Central Coast, what are you expecting from the visitors tomorrow night?
Yeah, really tough game. They're very well coached, very well organised and set up, hard to score against. They've had a few issues scoring goals this year and probably haven't scored as many as they would have liked. But they'll be desperate. They're in the top 6 at the moment, so you know the quality that they have, and there's some teams outside of the top 6 that are putting pressure on them. So we know that they'll be desperate, and they'll be seeing this as a must-win game for sure.
As the season has progressed, do you find that teams are paying us a little bit more respect now, taking us a little bit more seriously than they would have done earlier or last season?
I'm not sure. You probably have to ask them that. So all I know is how seriously we take each opponent and each game that we play, and the level of work and detail that we put in to prepare to play against different opponents, and whether they do that for us or not, that's up to them.
Focusing on the local games now, the Apex Steel Women's Premier League and the State League starts this weekend. I guess just a word on that season kicking off, and I'm just intrigued as to do you and the coaching staff watch games and players, and do you have a message for the players ahead of a long season ahead? Yeah,
for sure. I definitely watch games, sometimes go out live and watch them, and they're all available online as well. I think it's going to be a really exciting start to the season. We've got some new teams in the WNPL competition, and there's been a bit of player and coach movement as well amongst the clubs, so really excited to see how those teams go. And always watching players, always looking out for players in that local league who, if they perform, can get opportunities to train and play with us, because we're unashamedly a South Australian club, and we look at Adelaide-based players very seriously, and we want as many of them in our squad as possible. So I wish all the coaches and players in both those competitions all the best for the start to their season. I look forward to watching some entertaining games.
And just lastly, looking ahead to our standalone game here against Brisbane later this month, I believe yourself and the club are going to be visiting some teams in the lead up to the game.
Yeah, we're hopeful to get out into the football community and visit some of the WNPL and WSL clubs and their juniors in the lead up to that game, because we really want as many of those future footballers that could play for Adelaide United at that standalone game, watching us representing their clubs and just seeing what's possible for them if they continue on that football pathway and journey.